First of all, I want to say hello to the other mediums that we have on here. We're here on Facebook, we're here on Twitter, we're here on LinkedIn, we're here on YouTube. And what we're doing is we're spreading the Wednesday wisdom on real estate with Rob Rosa. So we have a person, Daniela, that she said, what if the seller asked me for proof of funds? Well, we have to think about it this way. Does the seller kind of have the right? Does it make sense for them asking for those proof of funds when someone is looking to buy their property? And I would tell you, usually you have to give the proof of funds. You have to show them that you have that money. Now, if you don't have that money, right, you might need to go to a brokerage, to um, your bank. You might need to go to a brokerage house. Wherever you do have money, you might need to get that letter. If not, there are some hard money lending opportunities available. Sometimes they'll cost you a lot of extra money on closing costs. Sometimes they'll cost you a lot of extra money on interest, but other times they might be a great opportunity for you. So take a look at it, some of even the P2P lending houses, right? Like peer to peer lending, PEER to PEER, peer to peer lending. There is an opportunity right there for you to possibly get funding as well. So what we're doing here today is this is Wisdom Wednesday, my friends. We're going to have a good time together, and I want to share with you as much wisdom about real estate that I can. So please ask me as many questions as you can. Let me know what you want to talk about, what you want to go over, right? Wholesalers being asked for proof of funds. Yeah, that's even more so. Now, again, this is nothing against wholesalers, but the truth of the matter is when it comes to real estate, okay, Daniela posted, what about wholesalers being asked for proof of funds? When it comes to real estate, especially being a real estate broker like myself over 20 years, I'm not going to just trust anybody to come along and say, "Oh, Rob, don't you worry, my friend." I even have a guy that put his arm around me. "Don't you worry, my friend. I got the money. I got the money. You just get me that contract signed and I'll get it to you." No, I've been down that road too many times, my friend, and especially if I need to look out for the seller, if I'm representing the seller as well, I need to make sure that that money is there. I don't have the time and energy to work for free. Like, how many of you get up in the morning and go to your hourly job or your salary job and say, "Well, I'm going to go over there and work my butt off. Maybe I'm going to get paid. Maybe I'm not." You see, I'm going to make sure that if I'm going to spend my time, my energy, showing the house and putting together offers and giving my advice, giving my knowledge, doing risk mitigation, well, I want to make sure that that person has that money. Why would I even show them a house if I don't know that they do have proof of funds, if I don't know that they're able to actually buy that property? So Daniela, that was an awesome question. Spider said facts. Here's all of you, and I have you on quite a few different systems, but I want to tell you, hey, today's Wisdom Wednesday, right? So first off, feel free to ask me as many questions as you want. And in a few times here and there, I'm going to let you know that, even when I'm not around, when I'm not going live, you can go to my website, Smart RE, like real estate, Smart RE Advice, ADVICE.com. Smart RE Advice. Oh my gosh, smartreadvice.com. All right, so that's available for you. Some of you might see it here. Some of you might have to go to my profile. Well, so Spider asked, "Hey, was it hard to get into real estate?" Well, here's the point, my friends. Well, first of all, I try to make it easy, especially for people here in Connecticut, because I offer the real estate pre-licensing class. Okay. And it's pretty simple to get into. I make it very, very flexible as far as offering payment plans flexibility and classes flexibility. But was it hard to get into? Well, this was 20 something years ago that I started buying multifamily properties, investment properties. Okay. And then I felt like, wow, you know, a lot of these tenants, they should be able to own a home of their own themselves, right? They should be able to get the next step in their life as well. So I felt like, hey, let me take this real estate class. And, you know, I was basically signing up for at the local community college. And at the time, I believe it was 24 or 30 hours, a 30-hour class. Here in Connecticut right now, it's a 60-hour class. But that I offer that class on Zoom. It's really simple and easy and get into. But remember, you know, one of the things that I'll tell you, and I do tell my new agents, I have a team, which we do a great job, and I'll tell you more about them. But one of the things is to explain, like, you know, if you're going to go from zero income and think that you're going to go right into real estate and make tons of money, it might not be impossible. You could possibly do it, but I can tell you it might be a little bit hard. You know, you're going to need some money to do some marketing, right? You're going to need some money to pay your bills. You're going to need some money to pay the multiple listing service and the electronic key. But you can do it. You will not be the first one to do it if you make it happen for yourself, my friends. You can do it. It's really about your passion, your drive, your persistence. You know, are you that person that's given up easy? Like, oh man, you know what? This is just too hard. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to sit at home and play some video games instead. Hey, Jake, thanks for saying hello. You know, I'm going to sit at home and play some video games instead, or I'm going to go hang out by the lake and go fishing. I mean, those things sound like fun. They sound nice, but that's not what's going to get you ahead. Michael asks, am I in Lakeland, Florida? Actually, I am here in Central Connecticut. Now, you might have seen me in Florida because I was there 2 weeks ago, but I usually spend my time between West Palm and Miami. I love that East Coast area. You know, someday I might even start doing real estate down there. But, you know, that's where I am, Central Connecticut. And now Jake asks, hey, why do I have wine in the back? Well, you know, first of all, I like wine. Do I drink a lot of wine? No, I don't drink a lot of wine. I might have a glass every couple of days just to enjoy myself. But, and I've actually made wine quite a few times. But, you know, this is not Wednesday wisdom on wine with Rosa, right? This is Wednesday wisdom on real estate with Rosa. So, you know, that's really what we want to talk about here today. And of course, I have a lot of information that I would love to share with you. And yes, Jake, I do have a pet. I do love pets. Right. So I appreciate you guys asking me some of these fun questions because we don't always have to make it really, you know, all about real estate and business. But let's talk about some of the things, you know, and here's one of the most trending topics in real estate right now here today. Okay. And what that is like, wow, you know what? I don't want to sell my home, or I'm not going to sell my home because interest rates are higher. Yes, for many people, interest rates are higher than what they were. Does anybody want to put in the comments what their interest rate was when they bought a home? You know, like when I refinanced, I bought my home 2.5%, 2.5625. Draco asks, hey, is it good to let someone take over your mortgage so you can be free from it? Okay. Well, most of the time, you know, that's called assuming a mortgage. Wisdom Wednesday, assuming a mortgage, an assumption. Most of the time, you can't do it. Most of the time, your lender is not going to allow you to do it. And if you do it, right? I did say do. Yes, I did. But if you do it, it's technically mortgage fraud because when you were at the closing, you signed like 40 pieces of paper, right? And when you signed those 40 pieces of paper, there was what's called an acceleration clause in there, which says that, hey, if you're past due or if, you know, and there's also another clause which is escaping me right now, but there's a clause in there that says that you cannot give title to someone else unless you get permission from the bank, right? You cannot give title to someone else unless you get permission from the bank. So if you think, well, I'm just going to, I'm just going to let this next person assume my mortgage because I don't want to spend that time, I don't want to spend that money anymore, you're probably going to go down the wrong road. You're best off technically selling it. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to put it on the real estate market, right? It doesn't mean that you have to call a real estate agent. If you have a friend or family member that they just want to buy the home and they want to see if they can assume the mortgage, all you need to do a lot of times is make a phone call to your lender and say, hey, right now I owe $180,000 on my mortgage. I have someone who would like to assume it. Can we make this happen? And depending on the type of loan, depending on the details of that loan, depending if there's a prepayment penalty, which most of them do not have a prepayment penalty, you can figure out if you can do that or not. Okay. I see here there's a gentleman, Pete, his interest rate 2.63. Awesome job. 2.63. There you go, Pete. All right. So I appreciate you sharing it as well. All right. So Draco says, hey, I have an investor that wants to take over for a month and flip it after the repairs are done. Well, the thing that I got to tell you, Draco, and I've been involved in a lot of different situations with real estate, and I've been involved in renovations and flipping and having a partner. And that's what that technically is having a partner, right? Someone who wants to take it over. Remember, your name is on the mortgage. Your name is on the deed, right? And so if you're temporarily going to give them the ability to make all these repairs, well, what happens if there's a fire, right? Is that person, is that investor, are they insured? Do they have a contractor's license? Because if someone else is doing work on your home and they don't have a contractor's license, you don't have a written contract with them outlining exactly what they're going to do, money is going to be paid to each party and so forth. And then if they don't have their own business insurance and there's a big time problem there, let's say they don't take out their permits, right? Here's the example of not taking out a permit, right? This sounds like a country song. Okay. I like country music. I like everything. I like rap music. I like everything. Okay. So this sounds like a country song, but it's a true story from about 20 years ago. There was this young couple and they were happily married, supposedly. At least this guy was. And all of a sudden, this is a true story. They had just built a beautiful house, but it needed little things done here and there. Like they wanted to put in a wood stove and so forth. So the guy came home from work and one day, and the wife told him, hey, I want a divorce. He didn't want a divorce. He wanted to live happily ever after. He was happy with the house. He loved his wife. He was happy with the dog. He was happy with his job, the location. I mean, I knew the guy. Everything was great. And but she wanted a divorce. Who knows what she had going on in her life? What could he do? He's like, listen, you can have my pension, because he has a great pension. You can have the money that's in the bank. He's like, I don't care. They didn't have any credit card bills. He goes, I know we still owe tons of money on the house, but I want to keep the house. They didn't have any equity in the house. They still owed tons of money. He goes, I want to keep the house. I want to keep the dog, and I want to keep my truck. Again, sounds like a country song, right? So anyways, she left him. So, it's a month or two later. The guy's kind of down and out on things, feeling sad. And he decides one day that he's going to go get a pizza. But before he went to go get the pizza, actually, I messed up the story, which is a true story. He spent the whole afternoon putting in a wood stove because it was fall. And he's like, oh, let me put in this wood stove. And he's like one of those handyman kind of guys. He knows how to do all this stuff. He puts in the wood stove, decides he's going to go get a pizza, goes get a pizza. He's like 45 minutes from everything out in the woods. By the time he gets the pizza and comes back, it's about an hour later, and the whole house is pretty much burnt down. It's on fire. The house is burning down. The fire trucks didn't even get there yet. And, it would have major, major, major damage. So he was all freaked out, called up the insurance company. They said, this was Saturday night, Sunday morning. We'll be there first thing Monday morning. They come there, they look at it. What happened? I put in this wood stove and so forth. And guess what the home adjuster told them? Sorry, the insurance, sorry, there's nothing we can do because you did not pull out a permit when you put in this wood stove. Right. So there is just one story, which sounds like a country music song, don't get me wrong, but that's just one story of the many when we talk about permits, when we talk about letting other people work on your home, when we talk about not having a contract, when we talk about insurance, when we talk about having a home contractor's license. So Draco, the long answer is be really careful with that. Shane, I hear you. You said hello. How are you? I'm doing pretty well, my friend. I hope that you are doing well also. All right. And please, add as many questions as you have. Today's Wisdom Wednesday, right? We're talking about real estate. We're going to talk about so many different things. We have some market trends we're going to discuss. Right now, I was going to bring up a new topic, but if more questions come up, I'm going to be very happy to answer them as well. And that is, okay, selling your home, even if your mortgage interest rate will be higher, right? Why would you want to do it? What are some of the opportunities today? Because as you probably know, what's the number one thing that's going on with real estate besides higher interest rates? Anyone know? In most of the country. Is it everywhere in the United States? Probably not. But in most of the country, who knows what's going on? Well, in most of the country, um, there is low inventory. In most of the country, we do not have enough homes for sale. Okay. And so in many cases, that is can be used as an opportunity. Now we know that selling your home is a very personal decision, depends on a lot of factors, right? But like Jocko put, hey, I just want to be out of the mortgage with all the updates and repairs that my house needs. Some people, they want to be done with the mortgage. Maybe the interest rate is too high now. Maybe the taxes are too high. Maybe financial situations have changed. So, Jocko, we understand 100%. And like even a company like myself, real estate company, I actually have a couple of programs where, for Draco, it's the HOA, the Homeowners Association, right? But I actually have a couple of programs where we can get contractors to do the work, do what needs to be done to make sure that the home is in adequate condition to be able to sell it for the most money possible. And then the contractors will hold off on getting paid until the closing, which is usually a pretty awesome thing. So that might be something, Jocko, you want to look into. If you're in Connecticut, definitely give me a call. If not, you're still more than welcome to reach out to me. And I have a nationwide network, right? So there might be someone, whether you live in Washington, Oregon, Montana, Florida, Texas. We have a nationwide network in every single state. You're in Virginia. So I can get you a real estate agent in Virginia that will be familiar with this program that may be able to help you if it's something that you want to do, right? It might be worth it just to have that discussion. So all you need to do is send me a personal message and somehow we will connect afterwards, right? So, and I appreciate you as well. All right. So what are some of the various factors that we might consider, like Draco, right? When selling a home, even though the mortgage interest rate is going to be higher? Well, the first one, which is huge that people are not understanding, is that you probably have a huge financial gain right now. If you bought your home anywhere before 2020, you probably have a huge financial gain, right? That might make sense for you to sell because maybe you have so much equity in that home, and maybe you are able to buy something different and still live your lifestyle that you want. Maybe it's in a different location, maybe it's a different area, and you're able to take that money and run, right? You're able to like, man, I made money on this house. And if it's your primary investment, especially, then that's the opportunity for capital gains exemption. So, for those of you who don't know, now, of course, I'm supposed to say, disclaimer, I'm supposed to say, hey, make sure you speak with your attorney, right? I'm supposed to say that. Make sure you speak with your attorney, right? Make sure you speak with your accountant. But what I know is that the capital gains exemption is that if you've lived in a home, it's been your primary residence, easy for you to say, right? Primary residence for at least 2 of the last 5 years. Okay. For single people in the United States, it's a $250,000 capital gains exemption. I was actually speaking to one of my sons about this earlier this morning. If you're married, it's $500,000. So if you bought a home back in 2016 for $300,000 and now today you sell it for $800,000, you made 500 grand. That's the very basics. You know, there's different bases and different things that come into account, but you could make up to $500,000 and not pay taxes on it. If you know the details, you have to pay attention to the details. If it was your primary residence for at least 2 of the last 5 years, right? And you're married is 500,000, you're single 250,000. Now, even if it was an investment property, like let's say it was an investment property, you didn't live there, you have 1031 exchanges, which is an opportunity for you to defer, right? Defer taxes, pay them at another time. Get your money out on this one, buy something bigger, buy something smaller, buy something in a different location. If you're up in New England and you're looking to relocate down in Georgia, you know, it's going to be hard for you to take care of that property. I mean, I never advise people to try to work on an investment property, right? When you're not in that geographic location, because it just will be really hard to do that. Okay. So really you want to be close by your investment property. You want to make it so that it's easy for you to take care of. You know, I mean, I even think more than 15, 20 miles is far enough, because especially if it's the weekend and you're going to go over there and you're going to make some repairs or you're going to check some things out, you want to make sure that you have easy access, fast access to that investment property. All right. So let's talk about another factor, right? We talked about number one was financial gain. If your home has appreciated significantly in value since you purchased it, selling now could allow you to realize a substantial profit. This profit could potentially outweigh the increased mortgage interest rate, resulting in a net financial gain, my friends. Who doesn't like that? All right. Now, Jake, I know you said Sally, I'm the only one. I understand, but you know what? Opportunities come and go. And so don't get down. Something else, if you keep your eyes open, Jake, something else will come along, right? You know it. All right. Number two might be an opportunity for you. I mean, I like this one. My uncle taught me years and years ago, especially when I got more into sales, keep your monthly expenses low, Rob. I can go out and buy a bigger, better house. I can go out and buy a bigger, better car. But do I need those things? I like a bigger, better bank statement. I like to see extra numbers. Okay. I like to feel a little bit safe. Come on. Or a lot safe. I like to feel comfortable. I like to bring my wife, my family on vacation when I can. Right. I like to not be stressing money and have arguments with my wife about money. Right. Because, money, they say, is one of the number one things that will break up a marriage. Right. That's what they say. So if you're arguing with your spouse about money, you're on the bad track. All right. You're on the bad track. So you need to be on the same page on it and work hard on it together That's what's going to keep you together, keep you stronger, keep you sleeping well at night, hopefully eating healthier, right? Why live on the edge every single day like a maniac and not even enjoying yourself? That's not going to help you in the long run. Okay. So that's why number two, right? Hey, Jake, I appreciate you, my man. I owe you big time. I do. Thank you so much. And that goes for all of you. I appreciate your likes. I appreciate you sharing this. Like right now, if you're watching this, share it with somebody that you think would love some Wednesday wisdom on real estate. Okay. But number two, that's what we were getting to was why would you sell your home or consider selling it even if your mortgage rate will be higher? Well, number two would be downsizing, right? Selling your home could be an opportunity for you to downsize to something that's more manageable. Ultimately, if it's more manageable, you will be happier, right? If it's more manageable, you're gonna be less stressful. You're going to be happier in the long run. You might not realize it, because of you might be watching the McMansions and all these huge big houses with 12 bathrooms. Come on. How many bathrooms are you going to use? You can only use one at a time. Okay. 12 bedrooms. Okay. Do you want 12 people living with you in the house? I mean, I love my family to death, but if I'm walking around this place and there's 12 people, do you think I'm even going to be able to, do a live video? I mean, it's just craziness. You don't want that many people walking around. So you know what? Downsizing to a smaller, manageable property, this can lead to reduced living expenses, lower maintenance costs. Okay, lower maintenance costs. That's less work for you. And then what are you going to do? You're going to free up equity that you can use for other purposes, such as investments and or retirement savings. So as an example, does anybody have any wisdom they want to share with me as to what you're doing for passive income? Now, I watched a video today, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki, right? And I reviewed the six items about passive income, the 6 ways to make passive income. Do you know what passive income is? Right? I mean, and please share with me, give me your questions, give me your comments. Passive income is the ability for you to make money without you having to be there every step of the way, every minute of the way. You see, you're leveraging your time, you're leveraging your effort. Okay. So let's go over, let's see if I can remember them all. Okay. Number 1 is real estate. There you go. Okay. Number 1 is real estate. And if you don't have enough money right now today to buy real estate because of the closing costs, because of the down payment, like we talked about earlier, you can invest in REITs, REITs. Put it in Google, put it in Bing, REITs, and learn about real estate REITs. You can invest $100. You can invest $300, $500, quick, simple, easy. Okay. Number 2 was peer-to-peer lending. Okay. And I might not go in exact order, but number 2 was peer-to-peer lending. We talked about that a little bit. You are able to make money by lending money to people. Okay. Number 3, starting a business. You can, if you're smart enough, you can start a business without you having to be in that business every second of the day. If you're good at managing people, you can do that. Number 4, intellectual property. Right? Well, what's intellectual property? Things such as creating an invention, making music, copywriting a book, right? Intellectual property, creating something and then selling it and then getting royalties. Right? Number 5 was annuities. right? And you might not know about annuities, but they could be a great opportunity for you as well. You have to be a little bit careful with them, in my opinion. I'm not an insurance or an accountant guy, but just be careful with annuities. And number five, which I like, see, I like number one and number five the best. Love real estate. I love REITs. And number six, actually is dividend stocks. Right. See, so, you buy dividend stocks, which will pay you cash flow. And especially if you're younger, and thank you so much for your likes, especially if you're younger, you can reinvest them. So you don't have to take it as cash right away. You can reinvest these dividends so that you can buy more. And Ishmael, yes, REIT, no, you put ready. It's REIT, Real Estate Investment Trusts, REIT. And there's so many different ones. Okay. You could be like, well, you know what? Right now, I think that commercial real estate, and I'm just making this up, I think that commercial real estate in the Midwest is going to go up. And here's the reason why. Or I think that industrial real estate. The whole point is there's a REIT, REIT, for almost every sector of real estate. You like commercial in the South Atlantic, you could probably find a REIT, REIT. You like real estate properties for hospitals, for medical, right? You can probably do that. Okay. You like whichever it is that you like as far as the sector is concerned, right? You will be able to find a REIT, REIT on that. And then the same thing with dividend stocks. Hey, Glock Extension, yes, thank you so much. I appreciate you being here. Jake, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate all the likes from all of you. I appreciate you sharing this with people that you know and care about, because that's what we're doing. We're giving caring, honest advice on Wisdom Wednesday for real estate. And even when I'm not here, remember, you can go to Smart Advice, ADVICE.com. Hey, Gillian. Yeah, from my real estate class, I have someone in here. So nice to see you. Appreciate you being here. Appreciate all your likes and shares as well. All right. So let's kind of get back to our topic. Unless someone has a question, remember, if you have a question, like Ishmael wanted to make sure it was a REIT. Jake has asked a few questions. Draco has asked a few questions. Shane has been here. Pete has been here. Please make sure you ask me as many questions as you have, so that we can discuss. But right now, if we don't have any questions, what we're talking about is the several reasons why you may consider selling your home, even if your mortgage interest rate will be higher. So number one, we talked about financial gain. Right. And we talked about the equity and getting profit from your house. And we talked about capital gains exemption. Number two, we talked about downsizing. Right. Number three, relocation. Oh, yeah, I'm out of here. Right. So if you're planning to relocate to a different area, maybe for your lifestyle, maybe for your family, hey, is now the time to be closer to your mom and dad, or your brother or your sister? Maybe when you were younger, family dynamics can get a little bit tough. But as you get older, you realize, wow, man, I want to spend some time with my family. I miss them. I love them. I don't see them enough. It doesn't mean you want to move right next door to them, right? Hey, thank you, Jake. You got 1,000 likes, man. Man, I appreciate you. Doesn't mean you always want to move right next door to them, but it could mean that you want to move a town away, right? So, or maybe there's a job, like, I always meet people like, oh, I wish I always did this for a living. Well, let's go ahead and do it. I watched something, where there was this 90-year-old woman that ran a marathon. So we got some 90-year-old lady, right, running a marathon. God bless her. And you're telling me that there's something you can't do? You got a 90-year-old lady running a marathon. You can do what you want to do. Oh, I don't have any money. Go get a part-time job. Get into whatever you're into. Like one of my sons, he's into photography. I'm like, dude, start. You don't have to go from here to photography. You can take baby steps as long as you're taking a baby step a day, right? Be better than you were yesterday. Get closer to where you want to be, to do what you want to do. Make it happen. As long as you're not hurting someone else. I mean, you don't want to sacrifice your family time for something like that necessarily, depending, right? Depending on things. But okay, maybe you want to relocate to a different area for work, family, lifestyle. Well, selling that home is going to make a much smoother transition to that new location, so it's not burdening you managing property at a distance, right? Or from a distance. So like I told you, yeah, there are some people, they say, well, I am going to move 5 states away, but I'm going to keep the property and rent it out. Well, why would you do that from a distance? Especially, I said, well, when do you think you might sell it? Well, maybe in like 2, 3, 4 years. Well, then why wouldn't you sell it now? You see, I'm not Nostradamus. Maybe my hair and I got the little bit of the beard, right? But I'm not wearing the hat and I don't have the robe like Nostradamus, right? The fortune teller. But I can tell you, being in this business for over 20 years, that things go in a cycle, right? Round and round. And right now, my friends, we are in a cycle. We are in a shift. I don't know the exact, right? I don't know the exact timing of everything, but I can almost promise you that we're towards the top of real estate residential prices, especially here in Connecticut. We're towards the top if we're not already at the top. I mean, I just, how much longer can this go? It's pretty darn crazy, right? So if you're thinking about selling in 1, 2, 3, 4 years, I would tell you, do it now. Do it before the window shuts down on you. The window of opportunity of making the most money possible is right now. So do it. Because if you were to come to me in 3 years or 2 years, and I will have plenty of people who will probably do that and say, hey, Rob, I want to sell my house now. I'm ready. Well, God bless you. That's awesome. But I don't know if I can get you the same amount of money as I can get you right now here today. I don't know the future, but how many of you believe that we are going to have that many more? I mean, the market is going to be that much hotter. I mean, is there anyone? Give me your comments. Let me know. Hey, Mikey, thank you so much. I appreciate you joining us. And I appreciate your likes and your shares as well. So again, and you have a great day as well, Mikey. Right. So again, number 3 was relocation. Now is the time to do it, and don't wait. And don't try to just manage that property from a distance, because in the long run, it's going to be harder for you. All right. Number 4, okay, change in housing needs. So your current home might no longer meet your evolving needs. Okay. So if your home is grown, right, maybe you have had a baby, right? Maybe there's specific accessibility features that you need. Well, guess what? Selling that home and moving on to something else might be the thing that makes your life happier. Maybe I'm not saying you need to do this, like sell your home because you need a ramp. But you know what? Maybe, God forbid, someone in your family, maybe an elderly person or someone's going to move into your household, right? And you don't have a ramp, and all the doorways are too small, and the bathroom is really hard to deal with. And then the bedroom's on the second floor, right? Well, selling your home might make things a lot easier for you, right? Might make things a lot easier for you. So why not do it? Why not take that money today and make your life a lot easier? Will it maybe cost you a little bit more on a payment and so forth? It could be. But especially if you have that elderly person, maybe they have money saved up. Maybe they're willing to partner with you. Maybe they're willing to, well, you're going to help me, so I'm going to help you. Make something work out together so that your life is not going to be so hard day in and day out. Okay. So that would be, that's number 4 that we were talking about, is a change in need in your housing needs, right? Change in your housing needs. All right. Lifestyle upgrade, closer to amenities, nicer neighborhood, better schools, recreation facilities, right? A lifestyle upgrade. Now might be that time to make it happen. You might be living in a neighborhood that you don't love. Maybe you hear gunshots. Maybe you're like, oh my gosh, I can't take it anymore. It takes me an hour just to go, 5 miles during traffic hour. There's too much traffic around my household. There's too much going on. I want to be closer to that shopping center. I want to be closer to the places that I can walk to. I want to be in a nicer neighborhood with different types of homes, right? Maybe you love a colonial neighborhood and you're not in that neighborhood. Maybe you love the old Weathersfield. If anybody knows about old Weathersfield, where there's beautiful big homes and the Weathersfield Cove is close by. People love that. Or people love to be able to walk around downtown West Hartford and go to the nice restaurants, little fancy restaurants, right? And get a nice cup of coffee and so forth. Man, I can go for a nice cup of coffee right now, right? Or maybe you want to live near the beach. Man, put me down for that. Okay. I like to live right near the beach, right? So who doesn't want to do that, right? So go sometimes, if you have the ability to, maybe you've gotten some new job and you've saved your money and you've worked hard at it. Well, here is your opportunity to make a lifestyle upgrade. Who doesn't like to hear that? Anybody have any questions? Right. So again, what we're going over, that was the first 5. I definitely have 5 more for you. What we're going over is the several reasons you may consider selling your home, even if your mortgage rate will be higher. Okay. So we're talking about these things. Of course, I appreciate your likes. I appreciate your sharing. We're discussing that. Hey, if you have more questions, you're more than willing to put them in our chat right now. For most of you, I can see the chat pretty quick and easy. Hey, Megan, thank you so much for joining us. Furious Night, cool name. Thank you. Smart, Sparkle, Pink and Classy. Thank you so much for joining us. Ishmael, Shane, Pete. And then, of course, you're always welcome, even if maybe it's like, well, hopefully 12:30 tonight, I'm going to be sleeping. But you can go to Smart RE, that's SMART, as in Tom, RE, like real estate, advice. A, D as in dog, V as in Victor, I, C as in Charlie, E.com. SmartREadvice.com. And that's going to be able to help you see all my videos that I have. I have like 600 videos in there. And I try to do as many as I can to help you and give you real estate advice. Hey, Calamity, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate that as well. So we're going over number 6 of the several reasons that you may consider selling your home, even when or if your mortgage rate will be higher. Okay. Number 6, debt consolidation. Oh, man. All right. So here's the story with this. I was a little bit hesitant to put this in here, especially if you know me. I am not a big fan. So first of all, and there's a lot of little details about this. Okay. If you tell me, hey, Rob, I have all kinds of equity in my house, and what I'm going to do is I have $40,000 worth of credit card bills, and I got my Cadillac for another 40,000. So I got $80,000. I'm going to consolidate them into one payment, and I'm going to do a home equity line of credit. I would tell you you're crazy, because in my opinion, and I'm not the real estate financial expert, even though I might think I am, I don't have the certification for that. I would tell you you're crazy because you're putting yourself at risk. You're putting your own home, the home that you live in, the home that your spouse lives in, the home that your partners live in, the home that maybe your mom and dad live with you, your children and your dog and your cat and your parrot. I went over someone's house the other day. They had ducks, guinea pigs, a parrot, three dogs, and I think a cat and some. Did I say guinea pigs too? Right? They had everything. I'm like, man, this is a cool house, dude. You got the full boat. And the husband was like, yeah. I told my wife and kids, listen, you better get rid of some of these pets, especially the ducks, or otherwise I'm out of here. That's it. That's what he told me. I said, oh wow. So, excuse me. Um, so you really want to make sure, though, getting back to this debt consolidation thing. Hey, Heather, thank you so much. Shadow Band, thank you so much for joining us. You want to make sure that you are not putting yourself at risk. Don't put your the house you live in that much risk, because in the long run, it's very, very dangerous and it could hurt you. So be careful of that. But if you're going to sell your home, maybe you got a big, beautiful home, or maybe you got huge amounts of equity where the house is almost paid off. And you're like, listen, I'm going to sell my house. I'm going to pay off all my bills, be debt free. And then number 3 of this, see, I said you're going to sell your home, pay off all your bills. And then the next one is you're going to change your mindset about money. You're going to put yourself on a budget. You're going to understand why you are where you are. You might read, and I don't make any money from this for the endorsement, but you might read the book Secrets of the Millionaire Mind from T. Harv Eker, because that will help you with your mindset about money, how you grew up thinking about money, how you feel about money, how you created thoughts about money, and you're going to get your money straight, and then you're going to buy a new place to live. That might be and you're going to be debt free with only a mortgage, or maybe even pay that off really fast. That would be awesome to do. Are you kidding me? I think that's a great plan. But if you tell me, oh yeah, I got the easy way, I'm just going to do a home equity line of credit and take on $80,000 more on my house, you just put you and the people that love you, the people that are trusting you, the people that you care about them, you put them in big time risk by doing that, because there's going to be a good chance, and I've seen it happen a lot of times. Hey Lisa, thank you so much for joining us. I've seen it happen a lot of times where people do that, and then in 3 years they got $80,000 or $70,000 more on their bills. I mean, on their mortgage, on their house, and they racked up new credit card bills. I mean, give me some likes for that. Well, you want to stay away from that, right? Give me some likes and some shares for that. You got to be kidding me. You don't want that to happen to you. All right. So be really careful with that. Okay. So that was number 6, debt consolidation. It's a great idea. If you're able to benefit from like no payments, paying off your existing debts, and then just finding another place, which shouldn't be that much of a problem, depending on your scenario. All right. How about number 7? All right. And if you're just joining us, number 7 out of 10, what we're talking about is the several reasons you may consider selling. Hey, Juan, thank you so much for joining us. The several reasons you may consider selling your home, even if your mortgage interest rate will be higher. Okay. So number 7 is investment diversification. Whoa, that's a lot to hear. Investment diversification. Selling your home and investing the proceeds into other assets or ventures that can diversify your investment portfolio. This strategy could potentially provide better returns over time, offsetting the impact of a higher mortgage interest rate. You see, right now, you might have a chance to take some of that money, sell that big house, take some of that money and put it into some sort of investment. Maybe it's dividends, like we talked about, dividend stock investing. Maybe it's REITs, REIT. Maybe it's peer-to-peer lending. Maybe it's another property. right? Maybe you're able, which I've done this with people more than once over the last 20 years of my life for real estate, is I've helped them sell a big house that they lived in. In fact, I just did it recently. They had a big, beautiful home. I mean, it was gorgeous, but it was two people. I'm like, man, why are you even living here? I'm saying to myself. But I guess the guy wised up. He's like, oh, taxes are so high, insurance is so high. He goes, I'm going to sell this house. We're going to buy another one that's going to be a little bit smaller with you, Rob, probably about half the size. And we're going to buy a 3-family property or maybe a 4-family. So we sold his big house. He diversified, bought another house for him to live in, and he bought a multifamily property for him to have passive income, for him to invest in. Now, I don't know if real estate is always passive income. Probably not, because you do need to be active. You do need to be working it and stay on top of it. Hey, Eddie. Hey, Mr. Big Fella. Jester, Clint, thank you so much for joining us. Any questions you have on Wednesday Wisdom on Real Estate with Rob Rosa? How about that, man? Wednesday Wisdom on Real Estate with Rob Rosa. Say that quick few times. Wednesday Wisdom on Real Estate with Rob Rosa. Okay. But the whole point is that was a huge opportunity for these people. And that's what made me start thinking, wow, I need to make this one of my main topics to discuss on Wednesday Wisdom. And so that's why we're discussing, because I know there's a lot of opportunities that people can take, that you can put yourself in a better position. Instead of worrying about, well, my interest rate right now is 4%. And if I sell this house and buy another one, I'm just at 6%. And that's just a lot of extra money. And so forget it. I'm not going to do anything with my life for the next 25 years. Well, come on. Come on. Is that what you were born for? Were you born? Hey, Water, thank you so much for joining us. Were you born just to be worrying about this? The only thing is, your interest rate on your mortgage is going to dictate your entire life. You weren't born for that. You were born for bigger, better things. Look at yourself in the mirror and look at yourself and be like, wow, I can do this. Even Rob Rosa, that maybe you never even met me before, said that I can do it. And the reason why I'm telling you is because I talk with so many people and I help so many people every day, every week, every month, right? And so this is what we do. And so, I want to be here for you and help you with that. All right, number 8, when we think about the several reasons you may consider selling your home, even if your interest rate will be higher, is renovation costs. Okay. So we had a gentleman earlier, Jake, he was on, and he asked a couple of questions and he gave me quite a few likes and he gave me a couple of shares, and I really appreciate him. Right. And I appreciate if you do it as well. But if your home, hey, Jay, thank you so much for joining us. If your home requires significant repairs or renovations, selling and moving into a new property might be a more cost-effective solution. Instead of spending all this money on all these repairs and maintenance, you can find a home that will require less immediate investment. Less immediate investment. Less immediate investment means less money out of your pocket today. And if you know anything about business, $1 today is worth a lot more than $1 next month, and $1 next week, and $1 in 2 years, and 5 years, and 3 years. Okay. That's why we're having such an issue with inflation and all this kind of good stuff. Okay. So, are there opportunities? Hey, Spider, cool name, man. Thanks for joining us. Oliver, thank you so much for joining us. Any questions you have on Wednesday Wisdom on Real Estate with Rob Rosa, please let me know. Right? But having that opportunity to not be nervous about the roof and the central air conditioning. Like, are you sitting in a home right now where either you don't have central air or you have central air and it's broken and you don't have the money to fix it? Well, there's a good chance that we can still find you a buyer for you. That your local real estate agent, if you're not here in Connecticut, I can help you find that real estate agent to help you with my nationwide network. Hey, La Pekka, thank you so much for joining us. That we can help you find a buyer fast, give you more money in your home right now for your home right now, and you can buy another home or buy a condo or buy a smaller home or a different home in a different location. Maybe you've always felt like you wanted to move out to the suburbs. Maybe you felt like you always wanted to move back into the city. Maybe you felt like you always wanted to move closer to a lake where it's cooler anyways, or closer to the ocean, which I love, right? And maybe you don't have to worry so much about all these things that you've lived in this house forever and they're starting to fall apart. You see, that might help you in the long run. Hey, Jeremy, thank you so much for joining us. Right. And I appreciate anybody's likes and shares. Right. And so that was number 8, right? Renovation costs. Now, number 9, lifestyle simplification. Lifestyle simplification. So again, we're right now on Wednesday Wisdom with Rosa for real estate. We're reviewing the several reasons you may consider selling your home, even if your mortgage interest rate will be higher. Okay. And that's lifestyle simplification. Selling your home can lead to a simplified lifestyle, fewer responsibilities and maintenance tasks, more freedom, time, energy to pursue other interests and activities that matter to you. So when I think about this, and I'm talking about this number 9 item, what I'm really feeling and thinking about and talking about, and what comes to my mind is, kind of like a senior citizen for the most part, not all the time, right? But think about it. There's a lot of senior citizens that you're living in your home. And if you're watching this, or if you know of a senior citizen, maybe you have a mom, dad, family member, uncle, aunt, they're sitting in their home alone in many cases. Like my grandfather years ago, I miss him to death. But years ago, my grandmother had passed, maybe, I don't know, it was like 10 years earlier and 8 years earlier. And we were like, Papa, why don't you come live with us? That's what my mother said anyways, right? Come live with us, right? Because you're at home every day by yourself, right? And that people are getting lonely, right? And so he had his own home, and it's like, hey, maybe now is the time, simplify the lifestyle, get more freedom where you don't have to feel like you're out working on your home constantly, get more time so that you can do the things and you can have the energy to pursue the interests and activities that you want to do, the things that are important to you, right? Take advantage now by selling your home, and that could be a very strategic move. I mean, who doesn't want to help out someone like that? To me, I believe that is awesome. Hey, David, Rockin, Ryan, Jay Carter, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate all of you. Right. And of course, appreciate any likes or shares. What we're talking about today is I want to answer any real estate questions that you have. We've had some people that have posted a few here and there, but I want to answer any real estate questions that you have. And then also, we're talking about a topic, which our topic today is sell your home. Sell your home, even though there's a higher rate. We're talking about the 10 reasons you may consider selling your home, even if your mortgage interest rate will be higher, right? Even if. And that's where number 10 comes along, which I think is huge. In fact, I need to take a little sip of water before I actually go over this one. Does anybody have an idea of maybe another reason that you want to share with me and teach me? Give me some Wednesday wisdom on real estate, right? That you want to share with me as to why selling your home right now, even though the interest rate may be higher, is a good idea. Anyone? By the way, my wife bought me this. I think it's pretty cool. I don't make any money off it. Believe me, no, it's not an endorsement, right? But this is Circle, Cirkul. Got a flavor in here. I think this one is orange mandarin or something like that. But it's awesome. Tastes pretty good. It makes me want to drink water more so that I can, get to my optimal weight and I can feel hydrated. Hello. Thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate you. right? All right. So number 10, as far as our topic goes, and please feel free to ask me any questions that come along, right? Number 10 on the several reasons you may consider selling your home, even if your mortgage interest rate will be higher, is um, market timing. Real estate markets can be cyclical. That's what we were talking about a few minutes ago. I talked about me not being Nostradamus. Hey, Nathaniel, thank you so much for joining us. Hello, I'm having a great day, and I hope you are too. Um, Real estate markets can be cyclical. And if you believe that the market is currently favorable for sellers, taking advantage now, today, with today's market conditions, is a smart, strategic move, right? That's what you probably want to do. Remember, you want to carefully consider your unique circumstances. All of us are different, right? All of us have very important things going on in our lives, right? And I truly believe that we don't know all the things that are going on with other people's lives when we're talking to them, right? It's getting a little hot in here today. Whew, right? We don't know, but we do know that we can have empathy, right? We do know that we can have compassion, right? We do know that we can be there for others, maybe even share with them this feed so that they get an idea on things, they get some help on things. We do know, right, that we have financial advisors that we can talk to beforehand, and I have those people. Right, we have people like CPAs and accountants. We have certified financial planners. We have mortgage experts, right? We have lawyers, we have attorneys who are experts, and then you have me as a real estate expert. And Christine and Jose, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. Feel free to ask me any real estate questions you have here on Wednesday Wisdom on Real Estate with Rob Rosa. All right. So that's pretty much, the 10 reasons. So just to do a quick, hey, the kid, thank you so much for joining us. I am going to do a quick recap, right? A quick recap on the several reasons, right? We got 10 of them, right? We put 10 of them together. The several reasons you may consider selling your home, even if your mortgage interest rate will be higher. So, number 1 was financial gain. Even if your home has appreciated significantly since you purchased it, you might be able to get a great profit now. Number 2, downsizing. I know we're going through this list quick, and if you have questions, you want me to stop, just let me know, right? But number 2 is downsizing. Selling your home can lead to reduced living expenses, right? Can lead to a manageable property, can free up some equity, can free up your time. Number 3 is really all about relocation. If you're planning to relocate to a different area for work, family, lifestyle reasons, selling your current home allows you to make a smooth transition to that location without the burden of managing a property. Right. Number 4 is a change in housing needs. Your current home might no longer meet your evolving needs. Right. And so that's important for you to understand and to go by. Hey, Chavez, thank you so much. The kid, Jose, Niall Kabi, thank you so much for joining us. Appreciate you. Any questions that you want me to answer, I'm available. Right. Number 4, change in housing needs. Number 5, lifestyle upgrade. Number 6, debt consolidation. Be careful with that one. Debt consolidation means you need to get your money mindset straight so it doesn't happen to you again. Number 7, investment diversification. Number 8, renovation costs. Don't worry about those anymore. Selling and moving into a new property might be a more cost-effective solution. Instead of spending money on repairs and maintenance, you can find a home that will require less immediate investment. Number 9, lifestyle simplification, right? More freedom, more time and energy to pursue the things that you were born to do, that you enjoy doing, activities that matter to you. And number 10, if anybody remember, you want to put it in the chat? Anyone? Anyone? Right? Number 10 is the wonderful world of market timing. Now is the time. The window is slowly starting to close. And before you know it, we will be talking about how buyers got the power. And you know what? I like it either way. And I like it in between. I've been doing real estate over 20 years. I like to help sellers. I like to help buyers. I like it either way, right? Either way, whether I want to help, whether buyers need my help or sellers need my help, the power, the leverage is going to change. So just be prepared for that. Hey, user 7475, thank you so much for joining us. So, really, we're kind of at the end of the broadcast here today. It's been over an hour. It's actually been a lot of fun. I hope that you received some good information. I hope that you feel that you've learned a few things. And if you did, please give me some likes. Of course, that's important. And hey, Daniel, thank you so much for joining us. If you did, maybe you want to share it with people. If you did, maybe you want to learn more about me and how I can help you nationwide. I can help you nationwide with my real estate network nationwide. I can help you with credit repair nationwide. I can help you here in Connecticut with real estate buying and selling services. And also, hey, Big Mike, thank you so much for joining us. And also with real estate pre-licensing classes. So that's where we're at here today. I appreciate you. God bless you. Thank you. And this is Rob Rosa. Hopefully your favorite real estate broker. Signing out, my friends. We'll talk to you later.